Hi everyone, it's Victoria. I wanted to share this demo presentation with DoorLoop, and it's with Giovanni Pastrana, and he was actually able to answer all of my questions. I've been following PadSplit for a while now, and I've received word that they're actually going to restructure their fees, which may increase. I'm not quite sure, and I think it's going to finalize in May of 2024. I wanted to research ahead of time and see which one would be the alternative for PadSplit at just a few units. So I was just wondering what would be the best fit for me as a small operator here in Las Vegas. So DoorLoop might just be a contender. I don't know what you guys use, but let me know. I certainly need all the recommendations and referrals and all of that. So enjoy the demo, and yeah, comment down below.
Tell me, I know in your email you had kind of mentioned we got a little bit of like a renting by the room model and had some questions and maybe kind of needing something here in April or so. So tell me what you got going on, what you're looking for, and we'll see how we can help.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually under contract on the property right now, and yeah,
Good stuff.
I got it creative, so it's very low down payment, low interest, all that. So I want to
Awesome.
convert it into a pad split. Originally, I wanted it into a pad split because of their all-in-one features of leasing, their eviction, blah blah blah. And then I come to find out they're actually increasing their fees. They're increasing their fees in May, and some of my mentors, they're actually jumping ship. So I'm like, oh crap, now what? So I'm looking for an alternative. They're still looking because they do have some time. It doesn't come into effect until May, so I figured, you
Yep.
know what, I'll get it started, and hopefully it can be something that I can recommend.
Yep.
And so yeah. So first thing I
Awesome.
forgot to ask would be about evictions. Like, how do you guys handle evictions?
Okay, so we can talk about evictions. We'll create a little bit of an agenda so that we can kind of then know what to touch on, so we can talk about evictions and what that process would look like. Um, I guess I'm looking for a little bit of clarity here, Veronica. So pad split is what you were considering and what your mentors have been using, and I'm assuming they've been using that to like find tenants for these. These are usually like room rentals, like you mentioned. Are they like short term? Are they long term? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter. I think it's yearly, so long as it's more than 30 days. So it's
If it's
not,
a
it's
month at least.
yeah, yeah, you can also do like month to month. Think of it
Yep.
as like Airbnb, but buy the room, but it's long term because we can't
Yep.
do Airbnbs over here in Vegas, and I don't
Yep.
want to have to go through all the permitting and all that craziness. Um,
Absolutely.
I think you guys have the same regulations over there too in Miami. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's similar. Like you got to jump through a bunch of hoops and stuff to be able to be like a host and have it on Airbnb. I know the short-term rental. Um,
Yeah.
it's getting a little crazy. Um, but I do want to talk a little bit about, like, for example, what Pad Split does, because I am a little bit familiar with the system. It is going to be like DoorLoop is, and we can talk about DoorLoop. It's meant to be a little bit more for like the actual management of the rooms, whether it's like, collecting payments monthly, tracking maintenance expenses, if there's an issue and they need to submit a picture of that, leaky sink, you can do all those things. But we don't have like an integration that would be able to allow you to like market to a pad split or things like that. So the only challenge that I potentially foresee that may be a little bit different than what PadSplit may already offer, just on the sake of being transparent, is DoorLoop doesn't have available rentals like on our website. Um, so you would probably need to find somewhere where we would be advertising these specific vacancies. for example, we do allow you to market to like Zillow and Hotpads and Trulia and those websites. I don't know if there are other places that maybe room rentals are also posted outside of PadSplit. But that is where you would be able to market with DoorLoop. It would be the Zillow, Hotpads, Trulia, those types of websites. Um, Outside of that, then we can kind of assist, accept applications, run background checks if you need to, and depending on what other features you may need. I'm not too familiar with features PadSplit does outside of helping you market, but I guess you can tell me what other features outside of evictions you'd want to make sure maybe we touch on.
Um, the rent collection, the work orders, also the contracts as well, because they're a little iffy when it comes to unrelated people in one house. I think there's like a permitting issue with that. So PadSplit, what they do is they actually make their tenants as members. So therefore, even though they're unrelated, they can still stay and reside in one resident, which I don't know. But
I got you.
I don't know if there's something in your contracts that states that it is okay, that it can be. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So on contracts, as I know you're taking notes here, Victoria, so we can also share this with some other folks. DoorLoop does not um, mandate any contracts to our system. The way that you would use DoorLoop is you would bring in whatever documents you feel comfortable with and then be able to create a template for that in our system. When I say template, like, autofill like the tenant's name, how much you're charging them when they're moving in, all of that would autofill. So you don't have to manually type that out every time. But the actual physical document you guys would be using, you guys can either upload into the system that you get from elsewhere, like if you have one from PadSplit, or we do have a document library. You may want to write this down, doorloop.com/forms. I don't know if I provided this to you or not, but if not, I can send this to you as well. But doorloop.com/forms, that would be the document library there. So what that will allow you to do, I think they do have room rental agreements as one of the tabs. Let me see. Yeah, so I see room rental agreements and they're state by state. So you guys can go in and download those, whether or not you use DoorLoop. We have that as a free resource. So look into those and figure out if that may be something that helps with you with the verbiage. If it is phenomenal, you can bring it into DoorLoop if you use DoorLoop. If not, you can take it with you wherever, um, whatever you guys may be using. But that would be what we'd be able to provide from like a contract standpoint.
Okay, got it. And as far as the marketing goes, I think it's enough as far as the major
Providers. Yeah,
sites, yeah, the major providers. I'm also going to market my rooms on like Furnish Finders, all of those things. I'd have to figure that out
yep,
as well. And if it's available, it's available. If not, then we'll put them somewhere else, pretty much. Because I have
absolutely.
another.
We also have an option as well, Victor, and I can send you an email with some links. We also have an option where we can also build a custom website for you. It is included on one of our plans. So if you want to like have your own website where you can market your own units as well, that could be something that we can build out. And then you can also have like on your furnished finder listings, if you want to see other available units, click here and then they can, you can take them and then they can apply for those units on their website as well. So we can touch a little bit on that, or I can send you some examples. Maybe that also maybe somewhere you can kind of advertise.
And how about like the processing fees? Are you guys linked to? I believe. Which ones are you guys linked to as far as like card collection, the credit cards? Is it through Stripe or something like
We
that?
do, yeah, we use Stripe as our payment processor. We have a direct integration, maybe some other systems that are a little bit different. We may have to like partner with Stripe, but let's just talk about DoorLoop. What you're gonna do is you create an account with us. You would link the bank account that you want the rent payments to go into, and you can set up different accounts for different properties if you needed to. And then once you're approved for payments, it's pretty standard. They can pay with some sort of card. If they pay with the card, they would incur the fee. It's a 3% standard processing fee. Or they can pay directly from their bank, kind of like an ACH transfer. And then that is either 99 cents or it's free. depending on the plan that you were ultimately subscribed for. So that would be the only difference from a payment standpoint. And then it's just standard. Those payments go directly to you, like a regular check would. Like if it, if they pay you on Monday, it'll clear and be in your account by Thursday. You know, um, that would be the traditional processing.
Do you guys do like prorated, like
You could
if
set
they,
up a proration. So if you want rent to be charged every month on the first, but somebody's moving in on the 17th, you can prorate that first month's charge. So that way it charges them that amount.
can I switch to, let's say, if somebody were just in, well, no, it would have to be at least 30 days. So
You
if
could do
they,
month to month though. So like if you can say it's going to start on the 17th and it's going to go month to month, then you can set it up to, the lease will continue to roll month to month until stated otherwise.
okay. And then
So
everything is pretty much included on the different tiers of monthly subscription, right? Like,
correct. Yep. So I can send you this if and we can kind of break it down. But essentially, what you would want to note is that we do pricing based on the amount of units. Think about this for you guys as the amount of rooms is what I would probably recommend, because what I assume is you guys are probably going to have every room and every tenant have its own lease. Like they're responsible for their own, portion of that. So the way that you would set it up is maybe like, building A, but then one unit would be room one, bedroom one, or, room one, and then the next unit would be room two, for that property. So that then room one can have its own lease of $900, every month, right? So that would be how you guys could set it up. So to that point, I would say rooms for you guys would essentially be units. But you can also look at this as like the amount of leases. So depending on the amount of rooms you guys have, the pricing will fluctuate, but we do it in pricing a buckets of 20. So right now, 1 to 20 is where you guys, you would start right now. And then in terms of the actual plan, you are probably looking at either our pro or our premium, just to be transparent. I think starter's not going to be efficient enough from like a feature standpoint. Pro is going to be the one that has a multitude of different functions. One of the biggest ones being the ability to kind of market those listings and advertise. So you can send to Zillow and HotPads and Trulia. But again, I can send you this so you can review the differences. The premium is the one that will allow a custom website. So if you were like, hey, I want some, personalized website with like my information, but I want those free payments, that's what you would go premium for. For example, I think I have a site here from my earlier call. This can be a sampled website. You can put in, of course, your information, your branding, your logo. This is just a sample that I pulled. And then this can be a place where people can view the available listings and see what maybe rooms, are available in the system. And then kind of apply directly from here. To be clear, you don't need DoorLoop, the software. You don't need this to use DoorLoop, the software. This would be like an add-on for a website for the public. So a little bit different.
so then this would include like a hosting, domain, and all that.
Correct. Yeah, we'd purchase the domain for you, the .com domain that you would maybe want, or if you have one, we'll match it. And then you have full customizing, editing access after, right? So if you need to build out any changes or colors or anything, I mean, you can play around with it. But yes, that would include the buying of the domain, the building it out, setting up the templates, adding in all your information. That would be included for free on premium, which is why a lot of people go towards that if they're kind of, looking for it to be kind of like a business. But if we just need something to just manage on the back end, then Pro could work if we don't need the website on the front end. So that
Yeah.
would be what I would tell you the difference would be.
For the pro, if it was ACH, that would be the
Not
99 cents.
99 cents. Exactly right. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, ACH. Okay. And then that's pretty much it. That could
Pretty
be
much it from a
like,
fee standpoint. I mean, listen, there are a couple other miscellaneous ones, which I can send you this as well. Go down to the pricing, and then you'll see the value add differences. There are a few miscellaneous fees on Pro, but Premium is your all-inclusive plan. So just depending on which one you go, everything would basically be free on Premium. But on Pro, for example, we just talked about the 99 cents for payments. The website's $50 as an add-on, which at that price would automatically put you in premium just to save you on cost. And then this dollar is for the leases. So leases would be free on premium. It would be $1 for you to send out a lease on pro. So no. You
Would
need to sign a document, it would just be $1.
Okay, that's good. What's the 25 per merchant application? What does that mean?
This is when you link your bank account to Stripe, you just got to submit an application to them to basically get it approved for payments. And they just need to make sure it's like a legitimate account, and there's no fraudulent activity. It's linked to you. This will be fine. You'll be fine for getting approved, but there's just a one-time fee that they charge of $25 for you to link your bank. So if you have one bank that you want all the rents to go into, then it's just a one-time fee. If you're on premium, those would be free.
Oh, yeah, that's better than paying $1,000. a
Yeah.
month.
No, I hear you. And again, it's going to be better from a cost standpoint. It just, it ultimately depends on, I think they may just be able to charge because maybe they are marketing it. So maybe like they can try to brokerage some sort of deal. But yeah, no, I hear you. The idea would be you can kind of do everything. And I sent you the video. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to take a peek on that as well. That can also be something that you can of course review, and you can also share with anyone else that may be wanting to just get a little glimpse of what the system can do. Kind of like on the management side, right? So if it kind of can help you guys collect payments and keep track of maintenance and do accounting financials, then maybe it may be, like you said, much more cost effective and it could, do what we needed to.
How about like the background checks and all that, as far when, who pays for like the background checks, and is it from the member, the tenant?
Yep, usually the tenant's paying that fee. You do have an option to eat it if you wanted to, but most people it's a tenant facing fee. And then the cost here you can see is a $25 or a $35 fee. The reason it differs is because you do have the ability to upcharge this fee in the form of an application fee, which is pretty common. So if you want to charge, let's say, a $50 application fee, then the difference from the background check would be profit for you. So for example, if you're charging 50 and 25 is going to TransUnion to run the report, the leftover 25 would go into your bank account as profit, right? So you have the ability to also profit and make some money back on the system via, like, let's say, the applications. Um, we have people who sometimes post like a convenience fee of $1.99 to the tenant's lease every month that they pay as just an additional revenue line item. Again, whatever you guys would want to use, you can kind of make some money back like that if you needed to. But
Okay. And also for the work orders, the tenants would actually have access. Would they have their own login to access and then pay and do all that?
exactly. So what we're looking at here, Victoria, is that first thing that you mentioned, which is like how do they pay rent or work orders. This is like what we consider as that tenant portal. And this is their access here. They also have an app. So everything they can do is, on the mobile app as well. So when they log in, they can see, for example, how much they owe. And this is currently what is owed, not like for the duration of the lease. So hopefully nobody owes you this much anytime soon. Um, then when they can see their next payment and the date, and then this is where they can go in to directly make that payment like we talked about. They can even set it up on auto pay. And then they just choose how they want to pay, card or from their bank.
Oh, and that's up to them. Okay, I understand. Okay.
And then they'll see those fees. Then from here, they can see like their history of payments. If renter's insurance is something that you guys are requiring, you can have this tab here.
Yeah.
And then the request is like those work orders. So instead of them calling and texting you guys, they basically just put in this issue. They have the app so they can also just take a picture or a video, directly from their phone.
And then that's going to link to mine, and hopefully I have the app, and then it's just going to notify me if there's anything.
Exactly right. So now on your side, you'll see that your side's a lot prettier from like a dashboard standpoint where you can see like what's going on, like who owes us, who's paid us, and then you'll get a notification whenever there is a request that comes in. So hey, sink is broken. You can see that. And they see that in real time.
Okay. And then I'll pretty much have like a breakdown of all the expenses and all those things, and like profit and loss and all those like at the end. Oh, the rent roll.
Exactly. So those reports can be generated, rent rolls, P&Ls, whatever you would need for tax time. And you can also filter this, Victoria, by like LLC or portfolio. So as you keep growing, or maybe some of your renters are having like different, LLCs and things in the system, you can set this up so that somebody can go in and like, you guys can run different LLC reports if you needed to as well.
I can even do like a 3 month for this kind of, because I may be doing corporate as well, where it's just, I can, how do I say this? I can rent out a property for 3 months out of the year for
Yep.
corporate, and then just pretty much bill them like this, and they can pay me that way. And it's
Yeah,
not,
it's midterm rentals, long-term rentals, anything over a month, you absolutely can utilize the entire DoorLoop's ecosystem for. Because since they're going to be there for an extended period of time, like they're going to get access to their portal, they can, make payments, you can charge them monthly, and you would be able to set up even signing the lease agreements.
cool. Okay, so I just have to look for like a lease maybe that I can.
Yeah, and you can look through the room rental agreements and on our site or the residential regular agreements and see if that potentially fits. If not, um, find the document that you would feel comfortable with, and then we use Dropbox Sign, so you can just bring it into the DoorLoop ecosystem and now utilize that when you need to send out documents.
Okay.
And we'll help you set all this up, and we train
What if
you and
they
make sure.
don't want, obviously there's like a website if they don't want to download another app and stuff like that, they can just use like a website to actually, do all of
Correct.
it.
The doorloop.com, they log in. Yeah, you're just gonna need to put their email so that they have access. Like they're gonna get an email invitation saying have access to your portal. You can log in online or use your app.
Hmm. Okay.
And then you can track things as well on your side. Like if you do accept a payment outside of DoorLoop and you want to track it for your records. But the idea is the more that they do on their side, the less work you have to, track on your side.
Okay. And for the lease, it would pretty much, make them kind of put down their identity, obviously, like, ask for like driver's license, do all that, right? Like
You,
I don't have to
you can
ask.
even set that up as part of the application. So if you want to like run like those backgrounds and applications on the front end, you'll be able to accept applications for this property. And in your settings, this is where you'll be able to customize what you want to require. So for example, all these social security numbers and like driver's license information stuff, you can mark as requirements, as well as any specific documents like pay stubs, again, driver's license, whatever documents you'd want them to upload as part of that electronic application.
Oh, okay. And for support, how available are you guys?
Yeah, so this is one of the biggest things we're known for is the actual live customer support. So you'll go in there, send them a message. These are real life folks in our Miami office. Average response time is like 3 minutes. If you want to roll with like the actual live representative, we also have like AI powered support where if you need like how do I add a lease and you didn't want to like search our database under the help tab, you can just type it in there and it'll show you the exact step-by-step guide on how to do something like that. So it depends on what help you would need, but actual live chat support, these are 3-4 minutes, and then from there you can schedule as many Zoom trainings as you need. So we don't, you can literally schedule as many calls like this via Zoom where you can share your screen and walk through whatever issues. If it's a little bit more extensive, like, creating a lease template and putting that in the software, maybe you want to do a Zoom training for that. That would be after the ongoing training. During onboarding, you're going to have like a couple of Zoom calls anyways to make sure the system's set up the right way for you.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, because then I wouldn't know what to. I can. I'm sure I
Me
can
either.
figure it out, but I'll have questions.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. So we want to make sure we get you set up the right way. So that'd be all part of onboarding. And then there is an onboarding fee, Victoria, but it's nothing crazy. I think for you, you'd be looking at, I don't know, maybe two to $300. It's just a one-time setup fee. And it would cover all of that, the training support, any ongoing support that you need. You don't ever get charged again for training. We have a lot of companies who charge like when you need support, they'll charge you $200-300 for one call. We kind of want to do the opposite, a little onboarding fee up front so then you can get as much onboarding as you would need, um, ongoing training, and so that would be the only other fee relation to the support.
okay, cool. That's awesome. How long have you guys been in operation?
2019, or
Nice.
pre-COVID, baby.
Yeah.
But no,
Okay.
it's been going really well. We've been growing really fast. We're like in 103 countries now. We just raised around the funding of like $20 million not too long ago, to like double our development team and support and keep, up with the demand. So,
Wait, how are
um,
you guys in other countries? How does that work?
this property is just internationally. So instead of them putting in a property in Las Vegas, they just put in a property in Abu Dhabi.
Ah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, you got to collect rent everywhere, right? So yeah, this is they can put in the property for wherever it may be, whatever country it may be in.
Can I put some in like the Philippines and in Europe?
You can. The only thing to keep in mind is the system only supports one currency per um account. So if you're managing properties like in the future in other countries, then we'd probably want to create a different account for you for those. Right now, we'll just focus on your main account being US. But to answer your question, I mean, yes, we could manage, or you could put in properties in other systems. I mean, in other countries, it's just like when you run the accounting, it would just be, US dollars currently. So may not be that helpful, but
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
insane.
So
Yeah,
it's been
because
going really well.
I'm actually, well, not that it matters, but I'll be out of the country in May. That's why I need to get the stuff
Nice.
April because I'll be
Right.
gone for like a month and a half.
That's amazing. So then, yeah, I would probably recommend that. I mean, April could be good if I mean, you really need a couple weeks to be like fully up and operational. But if you wanted to kind of like be safe, a good month or so is definitely a great timeline. So if you're like, hey, by April, like I want to be accepting payments or accepting applications and stuff, then I would plan for a little bit before that to like sign up. If you're like, hey, I want to be up and operational by the time I leave out of the country, then sign up in April and use all of April to train. Something like that is a good timeline.
Oh no, 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 no. It has to be because we close on the 4th next month.
Okay, so
So
you probably need something soon.
yeah. So I would have to make that decision before then and then just start training and
So
then
that you
just
can start training and onboarding. So by the time you guys finalize, yeah, I would definitely recommend that. So what we can probably do is I can send you some info so that you can kind of review, and then we can maybe depends on what you're thinking, but we can probably connect, next week or the week after to kind of see how the closing's progressing, and if everything's still looking good, then kind of start that process probably if you'd like to loop.
yeah, yeah, I have to do that. Okay, I think I don't have any questions. How about like utilities and all that? Am I able to charge the tenants utilities or is that completely separate?
No, you absolutely could. What I would recommend is it depends. If you're charging a flat rate every month, then I would just do that as part of the lease where we can say, hey, rent's going to be $600, utility's going to be $100, right? And then you can have that recur automatically. If you were going to post the charges based on their usage, then I would just go in and post a charge on a monthly basis based on their usage. So, hey, if they used X amount, then we would go in, post a charge to their lease. We would say it's a utilities charge, and you can say it's, January water. $72.17. So this would be posting a charge. They'll get a notification, hey, you just got a charge, and then they can go in to make that payment through their portal. Again, if you were posting the charge on a monthly basis, if you want it to just be a flat rate every month, then I would just put it as part of their reoccurring charges monthly. So for example, what kind of contract are they going to be on? I think they're going to go month to month. Okay, so we'll put month to month. We'll say it's going to start today. We'll link this tenant to this lease. Keep in mind if they've already applied their prospect, so it's easy to kind of integrate everything. You don't have to, do duplicate entries. And then this next tab is how about those charges? So what I would do here is if I click show advanced options, and again, we set all this up for you, but let's say you wanted to charge a flat rate for utilities, and let's say rent was going to be $500 and utilities was going to be $50, then you can just set this up and it's going to recur automatically. But then you'll know exactly how much you collected for that year in utilities. If you want to post charges as they use it, then I would do that the first way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't
Makes
really
sense.
have to be thinking about it. It's like obviously it's included, right? It's not just
Yep, exactly. So if you wanted to just, um, charge them a flat rate every month of whatever, I just put $50 there, then you can put that in. And then what that will allow you to do is, know that you're collecting $50 from this room every month automatically, regardless of how much they use.
Oh, okay, so I can just have them, and then I would have to be transparent about it on my listing, saying that it's gonna be approximately.
Rent's gonna be, yeah, rent's gonna be $500 and then there'll be a flat utility charge or, of X amount every month. Or we had other people, it just depends on how you want to advertise the listing. We have other people that just say, hey, rent's gonna be all inclusive. So the rent's gonna be a flat rate of $800, right? But it's gonna be all inclusive and it's gonna include X, Y, and Z, internet, utilities, and something else, so you may charge a little bit more, but it includes some other things. Again, it just depends on what you'd want and how you'd want to set it up.
I think I have an idea. I think yeah, because then that's also in my, that's actually, as I run my numbers, I have an idea of approximately how much that could be. So I don't really have to like eat it too much.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Huh. Oh, gosh.
So it should be flexible.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that's awesome. Is there a way that I can get this recording?
Absolutely. Yes. I saw that you had mentioned that in your email, and not to worry, that's exactly how we do this. So I will send you this, Victoria, so you have it, and then I'll include the generic video as well, so you can share that with anyone else that may want to take a peek. The pricing and then my contact info. So once you're ready, or if you have any other questions, you can absolutely reach out. And then we can reconnect from there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Victoria. I will send this over to you now, so you'll get it shortly, and we'll touch base here soon.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye, Vic.